Okay, we're back. That's right, we're back to working on the 1971 C10 in Spanish gold. Well, that's over there. Today's a later day. Yeah, you guessed it. I've been saying it since the beginning. I'll do that later, and I'll do that later, and I'll do that later. Always later. Well, a lot of laters came up on me, and I'm going to show a few of them to you today. This is one of our laters we're going to get done now. People ask about this, not that many. How I measure and this hardener paint and the doggone mixing things. You go 1 to 1 to 1 and all that, or 3 to 1 or however they work. I got those over there. Yeah, they're like $2 a piece, and you pour the paint, you pour it out, and it's wasted, or you spend time cleaning when you shouldn't. That's fine. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Measure everything out. You could get out a scale and do it by the gram. Actually, I'm joking, but I think the new paints, they do weigh. So makes it not quite so funny. Anyhow, this is how I do it. And you already know not to do it my way. Never ever do it my way. I wouldn't. I mean, I would. Maybe not if I were you. All right, I'm rambling on. Did I ever tell you guys I'm not a mechanic? You probably figured it out. Well, more importantly today, I'm not a paintist, artist, urologist, paintologist. Yeah, that's it, paintologist. I don't know. I'm not one of them. I'm a paint in the garage and do it wrong every time. So what I got is a roller, because I'm working on cars. Why wouldn't you have a roller? I know, people make fun of this and laugh all the time. Here's what I use. The fuzzy. You want the fuzzy? I want the fuzzy one. I better not do it later. I get paint on them. Look, fuzz. All right, you'll get a little fuzz because I'm too cheap to buy the right size. I buy them twice as big, cut them in half. So if you got a shirt, yeah, I didn't do that on purpose. I cut them in half. You can, they still work. You'll get some fuzzies, but most of those will come off in your paint. I won't lie. That's how that works. You can pick at this all day. But you'll never see it on camera and I'll pretend like it didn't happen. Mainly because we're painting an area that likely nobody will ever see. And the only people that are ever going to see it are me, and I'm okay with it, and whoever's buying it. And they're welcome to see the video to know what's there, or look and see it. And if you didn't see it because it was no big deal, then it shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, I went on too far on that one too, didn't I? So what I got here is the paint for the 1971 C10. Spanish gold. But all joking aside, look, 71, it's a 1971. It says almost here, because it's almost the right color, but it's not. But that's okay for our application because we're using a little heavier, a little thicker paint. This is it's an Exo Rust or Rust-Oleum or whatever brand you use, but it's an Exo product, and yeah, that's what we're using. That's what I'm using. So let me get a can opener. Just a can opener. Get this open, see what color it is. I already shook this off camera. Everything you see that's wrong or I should have done, I already did it off camera. So any complaints you have about how I didn't do something, I did it. I did it off camera. So there, nothing dangerous here. Nothing wrong going on here. Look at that. You know what color that is? It's Spanish gold. Darn right it is. Almost. So it's almost Spanish gold. Doesn't have quite the same ring. I'm not going to put this on with a brush today, but you can. The issue with the brush is, it'll use brush marks. Not as bad as you'd think, but the trick is this paint, the way it sits right here, it's never going to dry over there. It's going to take weeks. You got to put a hardener in it, or an activator, or whatever it's called. I got mine right here. It's by the same company, doesn't matter what company, but I like to use the same stuff if I can. This, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you. But next to the paint can, I've used, well, let's see how many times I've used it. Yeah, twice. I don't wash it out because it doesn't matter. This paint's not coming off. That paint's not sticking to it until it dries. This won't peel out of here or nothing because I know what I'm doing. I don't know how else to tell you that. It might peel out on yours. It might not. I don't know. Let me get a paper towel. Hang on. I think I'd be ready by now. thinking it through. Pour that, stir stick. You only get one shot at getting this right. No, that's it. I get my paper towel ready because you're gonna drip no matter what. Guaranteed you're gonna drip. So, we'll keep that handy. I will grab a paintbrush. Just in case we need to touch up a spot. I don't need trash. Forgive me. Yeah, okay. I just do that because the fibers fall out of these a lot of times. Bad habit, don't put that in your back pocket because you'll do it when it's got paint on it. You get paint all up your arm, your back, and your pocket. Ask me how I know. So here it is. This is how much paint I use. Well, for this particular paint job. But just the amount. I'm going to show you the exact amount. You want exactly that much. Minus this much. We'll get that later. Then you take your hardener, activator, whatever other names they give it, catalyst. There, got 3. And that's just in English, because I'm so good at English, you guys know that. Alright, here's the exact measurement on this. I'm a little more precise on this. I'm paying attention, see? Yep, that much. Alright, now if you use more of this, it won't get more harder. If you use less of it, well, it will get less hard. But the more of it you use, it'll also be shinier. I sometimes on an important project that I get, or I feel it's important, I'll get the mixture kind of made up. Lost my train of thought on that one. Okay. Anyway, I'll get the mixture made up. And then if I just want it to be really shiny, and it's the last coat, because the first couple coats, it doesn't really matter. You don't see the gloss till the end on the top coat. And I just want to give it that final gloss. I'll mix the paint and the hardener almost 50-50, 60-40, something like that. And it'll be almost transparent because you've watered the color down so much. But it'll have extra shine, really good. Now you might ask why use any paint, because the catalyst won't harden the paint if there's no paint in it. Now the catalyst will eventually get crisply hard, but I don't know that it really sticks and works that well. Do you see the words I use there? I don't know. Everything I tell you, I'm surmising or I've seen. Some things I feel like I know, but I don't know. I have heard you can't overmix paint once it's the catalyst. When you mix it like this, you can't overmix it. They always joke, mix it and then mix it some more and then mix it just a little more. But I have done this to where I've got so much air bubbles in it. So you can. I usually let it set a few minutes, but we can sit here and talk, hang out if you want. Let it set a few minutes. Then figure you probably wanted me to do that. So we won't. We probably don't need to because we're working on part of that truck that nobody's going to see. But I'll know. You get the idea. Yeah, I'll clean that up a little later. Well, let me grab this paintbrush, that paint. We're going to run over to the truck. I'll get you moved, get you set up over there. All right, this is the box bottom in case I jumped you over here and you're not following me. Like the box, the bottom of the bottom. Yeah, the bottom of the back of the truck, which is the box. This is the bottom of the box at the back of the truck. It was more fun to say than I'm sure it was to hear. And this is the underside of your wheel well. Then here it goes. I'm gonna try and get some more of that lint off of there. It's moot point. And I really am nervous. I joke, but I'm not nervous about the camera. I'm nervous about messing this, getting this paint everywhere, making a hideous mess out of this. You can clean this off, but that's no fun. Ain't nobody gonna enjoy that. All right, I got some on there. Probably too much. I'm scared already. It's going to drip and run. What am I scared of? I wouldn't be afraid of your project. Don't be afraid of your project. I heard that somewhere before. Anyhow, this is roller brush. This is roller paint in your pickup truck. I got to get in your way. I don't want to mess that little spot right there. Somebody noticed that. One of you guys will be yelling at me. I don't know. Anyway, I just paint over the tape a little ways. Try not to go too far. Try not to roll too much. See, you can be stingy with paint, or you can put it on too thick. Well, I'd like to get away with, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 coats. I don't want to be out in the shop all night. I gotta get some sleep sooner or later. So that's all we do. I got it taped off, but I don't know that it matters under here. Whatever little bit I get where I shouldn't get, I wondered about that light spot. I can come back in later. I did that one on purpose. I can come back in later on, just to be different. And I can touch up with black a lot easier than you can touch up with these colored paints. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I can't see. I didn't put my glasses on. Got my gloves on. No, my glasses on. All right, I'm gonna grab those. I won't make you wait. I'll try and do a jump cut because I'm so good at them. Well, I ought to be, as many as I have. I'm not going yet. I'm not leading you yet. I'm having too much fun. Oh, see, no, I rolled it too much. Rolled too much? Did I get enough paint on? You know what I mean? We got some trickiness here that I'm afraid somebody might see. So just want to make sure I get that. It goes around the lip a little bit. The paint's kind of wore. You don't know, see, and then I got that thing I should have fixed. But now I'm at the point where it's, not a show truck, people. Just keep coming around that gently. Now this, using a roller, make fun if you will. If you don't put this on too thin, I'm rolling my paint around, so I'm gonna have less of that. If you don't put that on too thin, you'll have enough. I know that doesn't seemingly make sense, but only because you want to mix up a whole nother batch and if you don't run out and all that. Was I getting noise? It doesn't matter. Totally in a blind spot. Hopefully you can see the difference in that. Even if you see my flaws, that's okay. You don't want to just keep rolling over this. I don't know why I keep doing it. I'm gonna go to the other side. I hope you can see. If not, I'll try to jump cut it out. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. What could possibly happen? I'll grab you. I can just relax. I got you. I'll just move right over here where you can see. Take good care of you. I don't know. Can you see there? I can't see. I don't know how you can see most of it. Come on. What's this? Not $1 million product. I'll just move along. Me and my English. Try to make a production out of it. Yeah, I said it. After I thought about it, I could say it. See how nicely that covers? I mean, you can see that, right? If you can't, put it on your big screen. Some of this stuff you can't see on the phone. And I know Sean doesn't watch it on the phone. No, he don't. It couldn't possibly. But it doesn't matter. I hope you guys are watching it. I don't care where you're watching it. As long as you're watching it. Watch some of it anyway. I'm just joking. Come on. Who could hate on a guy for that? Huh? There's nothing wrong with that. The color obviously doesn't match. Maybe I didn't say anything about that. I should have. I learned a long time ago. Well, I learned one thing about it. I'm not good for paint. I would not mix paint for a living unless I was just, put the numbers together, which is how I think they do it. Anyhow, I'm not good with it. That's all I gotta say. And I understand you sales guys, by the way. You get the paint sales guys, I'm not hating on you. You get there to the store and you get the guy, he's like, well, we have these two colors that look really close. And he looks at me like, decide. Well, you didn't see that, I hope. Well, I get that. Why? If I work there, I ain't picking people's paint. Come on, you just ask them for trouble. The problem is, I can't be the only guy, and I'm not saying I'm colorblind, because I just ran that all over that gold all over that black right in front of you. I'm not saying I'm colorblind, obviously, because I can see colors, but man, I am not good with them whatsoever. And why would that guy want to pick my colors? But when I ask him, I don't know, whichever one you think. I honestly am good with it. When I asked his opinion to go ahead and pick, I wouldn't have said it if I didn't mean it. Well, I understand. So it looks way off. It won't be. I'm going to go over there and touch that up real quick. I don't think you can see over there. Come on, you want to see over there. We're just going to turn. Now you can see over there, right? Probably see too much over there. Nah, I doubt it. I should just leave it alone. So one of my other tricks with this is, I go over it a second time in case you had a little, I don't know, fish eye or something. Sometimes when you roll back over it, because it's getting a little tacky, it'll fill it in. And then when I was talking to you about 2 coats, well, that can be troublesome. What you want to do is put this stuff down. Don't monkey with it, just put her down. Let this stuff dry up. This over here, you kind of see how, I'll show you after I make sure you can see. Right down in that little corner right there. I can tell anyway, this is a thinner, there must have been all black rather than a primer showing, so it's getting thin. If I keep dabbing on it, it's just not gonna add paint. Well, you can let it dry completely, which takes forever. And then you got to re-clean everything and get new brushes. What I usually do is give it an hour. Yes, it'll be tacky, you shouldn't touch it, but you can take a heavy loaded up brush and you can put a little more on there. So there, that's all wrong. You totally shouldn't do that. It's not how you paint. It's not how people would tell you to paint. It's not how professionals would paint. That's how I paint. That's how Darren paints. Yep, you got it. That's how I paint. Just like this tar. You never use tar, but I use tar and I like it. All right, so the next thing, back over to the truck now where you can see it. Jump cut 2. I know you guys have been here a few times before. Probably in 3 different videos, and I just have to tell you, I am not the muffler man I thought I was. I've been in this same area for, it's been 3 weeks or a month now. And I keep putting it on that later list, and no matter how much I push it to that later list, every time I come back it's right here exactly the way I left it. Which, for those of you in the world that have people in your shop moving your stuff around, you would probably appreciate that. I bet you would. But, yeah, I don't. I guess I do. Yep, I do. I changed my mind. What the issue here is, and all right, what yep, and that's up under there, where I gotta climb under there again. This thing weighs like, I don't want to exaggerate, 4,700 pounds. I still exaggerated. This thing's heavy. And I'm not faulting anybody who built it. But the way the pipe goes in, all the weight is out here. So, you know, it wants to fight. It wants to go on you all the time. And then if you did mount it like this, there's quite a bit of flex torsion pressure going that way. So I'll have to put another hanger where all that extra. And then I don't understand this, but I'm okay with some of it. This is a thinner pipe, and this is a way mucher, heavier pipe that they welded onto the side, which is thin here and here, just one pipe, and thick here. And that's not that big of a deal, except if you go all internal, I think they're the same, but I didn't measure them, because if you go internal here, that flapper is gonna, that won't work. And then if you go external, you have this, and I don't know if you can tell how thick that is, less than my pinky. On the outside, you have no room to, that's not my favorite so far, but I guess I'll butt weld or get a small collar. I'm done talking about that thing. I'm gonna get them on there though, under there where I have less room to work and I'm upside down and this is fighting me in the face, this part of my face, usually that part right there. Bang me on the nose, hit me in the eye, and this cord here goes in your eyeball pretty good too, if anybody's wondering. So that's been my next struggle. Oh, and the problem is, when you fit this pipe, all right, I don't know which country this came from or what country that came from, but neither one of them were America, and neither one of them were the same country. Because this 2 1/4 is different than that 2 1/4, which is different than this 2 1/4. Did I say that right? And that 2 1/4 and that one are the same, but even this 2 1/4 and that one are different. You wouldn't think that would make much difference, but let me tell you, I'm not getting a lot done on that. But I'm not gonna keep dragging you into this muffler problem. I'm gonna let it go. And I'll bring it back maybe when I get one done, because it'll feel like such an accomplishment. And then I probably want to show you the other one, because I'll be so proud of myself I was able to do it twice. So that's the future in the show, not necessarily this week. But I want to talk about something else that you guys may or may not like. I'm going to bring up pre-bent brake lines for the 17th, 20th, 24th time. I lost count. And I'll take you and show you why. But I'm not mad this time. Does that help? All right, I'll take you back there. I mean, it's right here. You're there, you just can't see. Maybe you can see that now. Can you? I think you can. Right. Whoops. Down there? No. Right in there where you can't see. Yeah, I was wrong. Surprise. What we have, now you can see. You're not going to get the depth of this. You probably won't get the perception of this. I could flip you upside down and your screen would be, somebody would be throwing their monitor trying to figure out what in the devil I'm doing. But this pre-bent line right here, I know you can see the line because it's shiny and it's stainless steel, was bent for the original brakes. And it was probably bent, longer, farther than it needed to be, but it worked fine for the original vehicle, the original brakes, which were drums, which this is not, and a frame that was uncut, which this is not. So once we cut this area, and you hit Dukes of Hazzard jump is what it would take. By the way, I haven't mentioned a show on my show in a long time. I don't usually use the name, but I like to mention something about those shows, and I haven't done it. I apologize. But I did hide the Loctite. So if you're still looking for the Loctite, it's the orange one. It's in every show. Keep looking for it. It's fun to find. It's in a different place every week. But back to Dukes of Hazzard. Unless you go over the drink, and I can't remember the name of that river, maybe it's one of you guys do. But they had a name on the show. Am I digressing again? Yes, I can feel it. I'm running away. My brain's going away from me now. Just kidding. When we go over that jump in this axle, because I've been pointing at it for 10 minutes, this axle goes up into this cutaway right here. I'm going to hit this on this. And that was a lot of garbage talk, but this bow here that goes around this U-bolt should, for me, needs to come tighter. So this can fit up in this pocket. This, a lot of this is, quit talking about my English. And then I left my hammer just 10 steps away. I'm not going to turn it on, not jump cutting you all these times. All right, so, it's not that heavy. I just grunt and groan because I'm old. What I want to do, and I didn't do this before I turned the camera on, I want to hit this, and in my dreams, it's going to bend right. But as I tell you that, I can already see that hitting this is it's not gonna go right. I'm hitting it. Just not to prove myself right because I'm done talking about it. I'm scared. Are you scared again? Here I am, scared of my project. Okay, what happened? Oh, it looks okay to me. Might have bent back here where I didn't want it to, and up there where I didn't want it to, but it's not bending where I want it to. Because this has to straighten out before it goes back, and it's going to keep pushing stuff that way is a bad move. I don't know what to do, people. I need to bend it. Anybody have any ideas? Because you're going to have to speak up. Maybe we won't do that on camera. Maybe we'll save that for later. We ain't saved anything else today for later. Speaking of later, one of these days I got to check all these nuts and bolts. No, that's going to bother me. I got to do this right in front of you. My OCD's kicking in and I got an audience. Go figure. Does that fit on? I'm going to tighten this down right now. See, I knew I didn't. I was going to do it later. And then I thought, I'll do it while you guys are watching. Then I can always go back and check my videos. That wrench is only going to fit one of those, wouldn't it? Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it? But I got the other one right here. We're checking these brake lines so we'll all remember I tightened them. That's the 3 on this side, and you're probably laughing. 3. Well, there's 2 on this T and 1 on that side. Let me show you that real quick. Just a little wiggle jiggle. I'll carry you gently. Over here, we have much of the same issue. Only this time, maybe you can see it. I don't know. If you can't see it, believe me, I can't see it either. I'm going to lean you in so you can see. Right down in here. I got you right? I don't know. This thing right here. Bows around. It's gonna hit on this bracket here. It's just not gonna work. I'm gonna have to bend it. So that's my waited till later thing I come up with, and here you guys are, and here it is later. I don't know. That one's the same way. If I go smashing on it here, and that bow is just gonna kink it that way. So as frustrating as it is for me, I'm gonna figure out a way to put a wrench on here and twist it. It'll have to be rubber or wood. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that garbage either, but you can see the progress I've made. Yeah, not much. And I do have all this stuff tightened up, but all that side work takes so many hours, and if it goes smoothly, it has for like 6 or 8 months. It's just, they're all catching up on me, and these are all going slower than anticipated, but that's another project I'll do. And you know, I always tell you I'm gonna bring it back and show you. I probably won't, but I'll have to get it done, whether you see me do it or not. I can't leave it like that. Nope, sure can't. Last thing, and then we'll go. Hold on. Last thing for the day is a goodbye, and I just want to say thanks for coming before I say goodbye. I enjoyed having you. Thanks for coming and watching work on a 1971 C10 in Spanish gold. How many times am I going to push the off button? Let's see. I'm always trying. 1 or 2. 2. It is 2. Here it goes. 1, 2. Nope. Got to do the gloves off. Then 2. That's it. After gloves.